goes the dynamite. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 68 of the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Michael Marcanio. I'm the host with the most, and I'm here with my boys, Kyler and Tyler. I got Kyler and Tyler here, baby.
Let's go. I don't have middle names. So
I got Andre Navarro on the right. I got Tyler Rabelis on the left, also known as It's Your Boy T. We got a great show. We're talking about start sits, who we love and who we're fading going into week 9. I can't believe it's week 9. We're officially over the halfway mark, especially because the Thursday night game already happened. Boo, 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 boo.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot you're a Niners fan. So yeah, if you don't have enough time to listen to the full episode, we do little timestamps within the description, and it's easy for you to navigate through the episode that way. Like I said, if you don't have time, if you want to hear us talk about our wide receiver starts because you're struggling at that position, go ahead and look in the table of contents, and you can just skip ahead to that part of the episode. Makes it super easy to navigate through. Also, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on the YouTube if you haven't already. Subscribe to us on the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast page on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
And if you are subscribed, unsubscribe and resubscribe because it actually helps us in the algorithm. And what also helps us in the algorithm is if you leave us a rating and review on the Apple Podcast app, helps us big time. Or leave us a rating on any podcast app you choose to use, whether it be Spotify or Stitcher, all these different ones. Or if you just do it on SoundCloud. There's some of you guys out there. I see you. What else? Yeah.
Check out my rapper page.
Hey, check out his SoundCloud, fool.
Yeah.
His name is Diabito.
That's it.
Whoops. Forgot it. My mic was live. All right.
Let's get it cracking.
Let's get it going, I guess. I can't even think. All right. We'll go into our quarterbacks. First, we always go quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and then tight end. So we're going to start with quarterbacks. We're going to start Big Ben Roethlisberger. Big Ben, I know he had home road splits back in the day, but he's actually been doing pretty decent on the road in the past couple years, in 2018 and in 2020, because last year he wasn't there. So I think you can start Big Ben up against this terrible, terrible, terrible Dallas defense. Or just Dallas team in general, I should say. When your quarterback's Ben DiNucci, well, they benched him.
Yeah.
Ben has been benched.
Benched.
They're going to be turning the ball over a lot from the defense. I think that the Pittsburgh's time of possession is going to be insane. I think it's just they're going to put up so many points that Big Ben has to catch some of them. That's just my thought. He's going to have to get some of them.
Yeah, I think they're going to score more points than the Cowboys for sure.
Well, yeah, definitely. I will cry if we lose to the Cowboys. I'll punch myself in the forehead.
Hey, imagine if you lose to them and go 15-1.
Dude, we're
but
going
yeah,
16-0.
I'm starting Ben. I mean, I'm expecting Ben to go out there and be like,
hug it, chug it, football.
Oh, that's a good one.
The Cowboys, they're just giving it up. They give the third most passing touchdowns so far on the season. I mean, he's got weapons. Juju, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson's going to be there.
Bing, bing.
I guess the only thing you can worry about is maybe they're just smacking them so much that maybe they lean on the run game a little bit more than the passing game. But I think he should give you at least a safe floor.
Yeah, they're going to smack them. There's not.
I do think that Dallas could cover this game, though.
Why was it 100?
I mean, it's minus 14 now. It's open at 13.5. But my thing is that the Cowboys are 0-8 against the spread, and no team's ever been 0-9 against the spread.
Well, you know what's got to happen.
Jerry Jones said, "Hold my bear."
Jerry Jones said, "We breaking all the records."
He said, "If we're not winning Super Bowls, we're going to be shit, dog shit."
So I don't know. I feel like there's a high possibility for that, but also this Cowboys team is not very good. So there's that too.
Yeah, they suck pretty good.
They suck so good.
They suck pretty good.
But yeah, your guys' thoughts?
That's it, Couch.
Yeah, I'm down on Big Ben.
Cool. We can move on to the next start here. We got Kirk Cousins.
Oh, Primo. Kirk Primo.
Kirk Primos. Yeah, Kirk Cousins is one of my guys. I'm starting Kirk Cousins this week, especially if you need a streaming option. I'm not mad at going out and getting Kirk Cousins this week. Just some numbers. Yeah, some numbers why I like Kirk Cousins this week. The Lions secondary, they've allowed 19% of their receptions that they've been giving up. They've allowed 19% of them to go for 15 or more yards. That's the second highest rate in the NFL. The 37 of those 15-plus receptions is the fourth most of those big play receptions given up. And this is good for Kirk Cousins because Cousins throws the ball deep on 19% of his pass attempts. That's the highest out of any quarterback in the NFL. And he's completing 47% of those deep passes, which is ranked top 8 amongst all quarterbacks. So, yeah, I do like me some Kirk Cousins this week. Should be a big Adam Thielen week, and then maybe another guy. Big week for him later on in the receivers.
Foreshadowing. He's foreshadowing.
You see what he did there?
Yeah,
So then also the Lions have given up 2 or more passing touchdowns in 5 of the 7 games. So, yeah, I do like me some Kirk Cousins this week at home against the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
Detroit.
Yep, I agree. I picked him up. I forget who I have on a bye week. I think it's Joe Donkey. But, yeah, I think he's going to sling that thing this week. Everyone's been talking about Dalvin, but I think he gets 3 tugs. I think he throws for 3.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Ooh, that makes me a little bit wet.
Ooh, okay.
All right, let's go on to the next one here. We got Derek Carr, also known as Sid from Toy Story. Oh,
My
grown up.
guy. This is, it's not the sexiest pick, but I think it's going to be a shootout this week, which is a big reason why. And the Chargers just gave up 250 yards and 3 touchdowns to Drew Lock. I feel like they gave up 200 yards in one drive. I feel like I feel like he did that so fast. But I think they're going to involve Josh Jacobs more. I mean, they got guys. I mean, Ruggs is going to, I think, tear them apart anyway. I mean, you saw what Keenan Allen and Mike Williams scored against them. So I expect it to be close, but more with higher points scored. I think it's just going to go back and forth. Like both into the mid to high 20s.
So what you're saying is you like the over.
I like the over. I do. And I mean, Derek Carr he's not winning you games, but he's not losing you. He has 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the season.
Listen,
so he doesn't turn it over. And I mean,
as long as my quarterback doesn't get me less than 10 points, actually less than 15 points.
Yeah, because I mean, look at Lamar last week. He had 4 turnovers. I mean, Derek Carr has 2 picks all year. So I mean, the floor should be good. It's just when you catch him on those good weeks, those boom weeks, I think that's one of those weeks. Or this is one of those weeks. I mean, that's what I got.
You said it here first. Bet the over.
Derek Carr.
All right, let's move on to this is an honorable mention. We have Drew Lock here. You had me throw this guy in here, Tyler. You think Lock's a lock to throw in your lineup this week?
Against the Falcons?
Yeah, I think so. Like Dre said, he's playing against the Falcons, and I mean, he had a good game last week. It was like 250 and 3 tugs. I mean,
63%.
He's pretty much getting all of his weapons back outside of Cortland Sutton. I mean, you got Tim Patrick, was pretty reliable on the outside. He kind of just is taking over that Cortland Sutton role. Jerry Jeudy's coming along real nice. I mean, he's a stud, one of the best route runners.
Yeah.
In the NFL, even as a rookie. Noah Fant's finally healthy. You got the backup tight end who played at Missouri with Drew Lock, so they have the rapport there. KJ Hamler's getting incorporated as well. So, yeah, I think finally we're going to be able to see what this offense can really do with the full arsenal out there for Drew Lock. And like I said, he's playing against the Falcons. They're not very good at defending the pass. So, yeah, if you need a streaming option, or maybe if you're like in a DFS type of league, I'm not mad at going out there and getting Drew Lock and throwing him into your lineup.
Yeah, man.
I like it. Put him in.
And his name is Albert Akarakanabanaganawin, if you guys were wondering.
Albert in Malanapin.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to our sits for the quarterback position. We got Teddy Bridgewater listed here. What are we thinking?
Bro, I'm thinking you ready for some
There's
shit,
also
bro?
some wide receiver start sit foreshadowing right here.
You know what's funny? I didn't even realize I did that. I was like, damn, because I forgot my sit.
It actually tends to happen the way we've been doing this now. It happens a lot.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's funny because it was for 2 different reasons. But, I mean, if they're both slipping, they're both slipping. So, we're expecting CMC back finally. It's been, 6 weeks. So I feel like he's going to get at least 18 carries. I feel like they're going to make it an effort to get him the rock. Not that they have to force it. He's pretty fucking good anyways. But I did write more of a CMC game. The Chiefs' D is sneaky good. They create turnovers. They get to the quarterback. Super athletic. And I did put Robby Anderson has been slipping. It's more DJ Moore now. He's been doing his thing. Ian Thomas, he was getting hyped when the season started, not doing too hot. Now, Teddy Bridgewater, he's thrown over 300 yards one time the last 6 games. And in his last 3 games, he has 3 touchdowns, 3 picks, and he's been sacked 8 times. So he hasn't been doing too hot. 3 touchdowns in 3 games. Yeah, no, I'm good. I feel like he'll be efficient. Completion percentage will be good. He might not turn the ball over, but I just don't see him being start-worthy when it comes, to fantasy.
Yeah, I agree.
So, 3 touchdowns and 3 picks in 3 games.
So you're saying sell Robby Anderson?
I'm not saying sell Robby Anderson necessarily, but I would not be starting Teddy Bridgewater in this matchup. Could he? Obviously the Chiefs are going to come out and put up some points for sure. So they're going to have to be throwing the ball. And, could he throw a little screen pass to McCaffrey and he breaks off 60, 70 yards? Yeah, for sure. But I would probably be starting some other options if I could, at the quarterback position at least.
Yeah, especially DJ Moore. The last 2 weeks, he's had like a long touchdown pass. So it hasn't really been Teddy like slanging it. It's been more, here's a ball and run with it, and I'll just take the yards because, that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, he'll take the longest yard.
Ooh, okay. Okay, Burt Reynolds.
Let's move on to our next sit right here. We got Felipe Rios. I hate this guy.
The Bolo Tie Blood. They call him the Bolo Tie Blood. Just want you to know that in the streets.
Do they really?
The Bolo Tie Blood.
Yeah, I'm sitting Felipe Rios here. He's had 2 good games where he's had 3 touchdowns. Yeah, back-to-back. He's had 22 or more points in both of those games. But prior to that, 5 straight games with 1 or 0 passing touchdowns. And this Ravens defense is no joke. They have 4 games already on this year where they've allowed only 1 or 0 passing touchdowns. So I just don't trust Phillip Rivers here. You got T.Y. Hilton, who's going to be doubtful. Michael Pittman's barely coming back. I feel like Paris Campbell's been like Thanos snapped and he just evaporated. Like I don't even know what happened to.
By the way, they have like maybe two or 3 healthy receivers, and
yeah, they got my guy. They got Ashton Doolin, and they got
Who?
Yeah, he went to that school. I remember talking about him a couple years ago. He went to a school where they discontinued the football program. He's like D2. Exactly.
They got no receivers. This
Bryant.
is a tough Ravens defense right here.
No Marlon Humphrey.
It don't matter.
Right.
It don't matter. They still got Jimmy Smith. You still got Marcus Peters. You got Calais Campbell. They traded for Yannick Ngakoue or whatever. How do you pronounce that from the Vikings?
No,
this is definitely just one of the better defenses in the league. So I'm fading Rivers this week. You're probably not starting him in most leagues, but I would just be fading.
I'm actually starting him in my dynasty league, but that's because I have to.
Yeah, look again. Grab Drew Lock.
It's just dynasty.
Kidding.
Yeah,
No,
I tried
I
to
know.
pick up Nick Foles, and then someone actually picked him up. I was like, "Fuck me, coach."
That's rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's rough out here in the streets, dude. I feel bad.
I did start Ricky James though. Psych.
I think maybe 2 people started that.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Everybody started Trent Taylor.
For sure.
All right, let's go on to our running backs here. We'll start with our starts. We got Justin Jackson for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Justin Jackson right here. In the 3 games since Eckler's been out with the injury, 10 or more PPR points in all 3 games. Last week you kind of saw a little 3-headed monster. It was Joshua Kelly, Justin Jackson, and Tremaine Pope came out of nowhere and had 15 total touches last week. But Tremaine Pope's going to be out this week due to injury, so it's just going to be, again, Joshua Kelly and Justin Jackson. So, yeah, I do like me just some Justin Jackson this week. In 2 of the 3 games, he's had 20 touches. That's a good workload right there for a guy. And then he's the receiving back. It's not Joshua Kelly. It's Justin Jackson who's the receiving back. And the Raiders have allowed the 5th most receiving yards to running backs and the 10th most receptions to running backs. So, yeah, dial me up some Justin Jackson. It's
dial him up.
A low-end RB1, I feel like. I think he's going to put some solid numbers.
If I'm facing up, I hope
What happened to your boy Josh Kelly, dude?
Dude, he fucking, since week 2, he fucking sucks, coach.
He's
hanging out with Ben DiNucci.
He's hanging out. He's
Fucci.
practicing his magic tricks because he's like Harry Houdini. Now you see him.
Now you
don't.
Hey, Tremaine Pope did good for him last. I picked him up in Dynasty, and I have to start him. Trust me, I don't want to have to, but I have to.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not this week. He's out.
Yeah.
Who?
Tremaine Pope.
Oh, is he? Yeah. Well, I'm starting him.
All right, let's move on to our next start.
That's how
here.
loyal I am to him.
We got Antonio Gibson taking on the Giants. I know what you're thinking. Antonio Gibson didn't put up big numbers against the Giants last time, but I'm here to say it's redemption time, baby. Antonio Gibson got a huge workload last game he played. I'm looking into the crystal ball that is the future, and I'm seeing great things for my boy. I'm saying 20-point game right here.
Yeah, I like Gibson. Definitely down up. He should be a solid RB2 with the workload that he's getting over there. He's definitely getting more and more incorporated as the season is going along. Obviously, J.D. McKissick is getting involved as well.
He had almost
but yeah,
20
Antonio
touches.
Gibson is really starting to take over that lead running back role there for the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is a crazy start that you threw in here. I can't believe it. Why? How could you say this?
Ready? Because people have been talking shit. Ready? You know why? Hold on. I don't want to get the numbers.
Tyler all last night. Why? He kept saying that.
So
that was me last night when I started Jordan Reed. Why?
Yeah, that's
Why?
because it is true. So after Josh Jacobs' big game, week 1, where he had 93 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, Josh Jacobs has only had 2 rushing touchdowns the rest of the season, and they came in the same game. So he's actually had 5 games of no rushing touchdowns. And I don't know if you saw this, but he got the Raiders gave it to him 3 times in a row last week on the 1. Literally got stuffed every single time. I watched it. I couldn't believe it. But I like it. It's more for this week. So they're playing the Chargers. The Chargers have only faced 130 running back carries this season, which is the 4th fewest in the NFL, which is also skewed because they've only given up 2 rushing touchdowns, which is obviously low. But they've seen 68 running back targets, which is the most in the NFL. And they've given up 3 receiving touchdowns. So people just haven't been running the ball on them. Either they stop them and then they're either smacking them like the Broncos and they don't run the ball and they come back through the air, or they stop them early and they just run shy away from it. But they give it up because they give up about 90 rushing yards per game to running backs. So Josh Jacobs coming off 31 carries, which was a season high in carries and rushing yards. That makes me like him. And he's also 2nd in carries, 7th in rushing yards, and 3rd in touches. And on top of all of that, he's 8th in standard and 11th in PPR. And he hasn't scored. He's scored 2 touchdowns in the last 6 weeks.
We'll get a little buy low candidate or what?
For show. For
Shafo.
show. I mean, he 2 touchdowns in 6 games, but he's getting volume. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying.
So if you were thinking to yourself, maybe I'm not going to play Josh Jacobs because he's burned me, but I don't think he's really burned you, has he?
I mean,
he's still putting up yards, you know.
2 weeks ago, he got me 3 points.
Yeah, that's.
He has games of 6.3, 7.3, and 3.1. So,
yeah, that's not good for a guy who was getting drafted in the back end of the 1st round, 2nd round.
So people have been fading him. So I'm just here to give you the reassurance that there's not many running backs that are getting 30 carries a game or 23 carries a game, 27, 25. Like he's he's getting the efficiency or the volume. You just need the efficiency to catch up and the touchdowns, and he's going to be top. He's still top 10 in standard.
Yeah.
So
top 10.
And he's 11th in half-point PPR.
Start him. Start the 11th.
I know. I'm just saying it's
no,
crazy.
I know. I'm fucking with you.
Hey, people are out here fading him. Though.
Yeah,
He's not that good. I'm like, I mean.
Yeah, it's like this could be the week that you bench like how everybody benched Kenyon Drake and he had the 2 touchdown game and all the yards.
Because his yards per carry isn't very good, but.
Yeah, I'm with it. I believe you.
I don't believe myself.
I don't believe you.
I didn't.
We got J.K. Dobbins.
Ooh.
He somehow the Pittsburgh Steelers only let total yards in a game up to 109 yards to running backs. J.K. Dobbins completely smashed that last week. It seemed like the only thing we couldn't stop was the run, which was the opposite of how Pittsburgh's defense usually is. So, yeah, I mean, to me it felt like an anomaly, but he looked good, you know.
I mean, I don't know if you remember last week. Remember when I just asked off rip? I was like, if J.K. Dobbins does good, is the job his?
You did say that, actually.
I asked. So he outsnapped Gus Edwards 66% to 32%, so he doubled it. Although Edwards was efficient, had the touchdown, Dobbins had 7.5 yards a carry. If you watch him, he just looked better. Eye test, he was way more explosive, breaking tackles. He's averaging 6.67 yards per carry on the season. I put let him eat. I mean, that's it.
He's hungry.
Gus Edwards is still going to get his 14. They each had 16 touches, but Dobbins had more carries. And, I mean, he's just tough to bring. I mean, he's better than him. I mean, we know that, but Gus Edwards is still good. But I think Dobbins is on his way to getting himself 18 touches a game. If he can get 16 to 20 touches a game, he's worth playing, especially in that offense where they run the ball more than anyone else. And they just ran it on the Steelers, like you said. Like, they're a good defense. They're not the Texans, for example, like we're watching right now.
Lamar Jackson really, screws up defenses, you know?
Oh, yeah, because you got to respect him. But, yeah, I mean, Dobbins has a 4.4 40.
Well, you saw a lot of T.J. Watt and Bud Dupree come around, and then
they're just keying in on him.
You know what I'm saying? And then Lamar, and then they go right up the middle.
Yeah, so that's why I like him, and he's more proficient in the pass game than Gus Edwards, so he can be on the field for longer. So
The third down rule.
Third down.
Yeah, I do like J.K. Dobbins. What about Gus Edwards now? Do you feel comfortable starting him potentially, or?
Yeah, I mean, especially this week where there's buys, I mean, he could be a flex option. He can, I mean,
like you said, they're both. I feel like Dobbins is getting more snaps because he's out there on the passing downs.
Yeah.
But it seems like when Gus Edwards is in, he's in there because they're running the ball with him,
and I feel
and
like
he's getting the goal line work. I feel like over Dobbins.
I'm wondering if defenses are going to key in on that. Like if he's in the game, more than likely he's going to get a carry. Play action, I mean,
but then they just do where if you key in and you bite on the run, Lamar takes it.
Oh yeah, well, RPOs. Yeah, I'm talking about like play actions. Like play action, they're like, he's not going to pull that. That's it.
Yeah, I like Dobbins, and I agree with Dre. I think you can play Gus Edwards too, especially if you're in a pinch. If you need like a flex option potentially, or maybe you got some injuries, or there's a lot of buys, and you just need anyone that can get in there. I think both those running backs are going to see a decent amount of touches. Even Gus Edwards should see around 14 touches and some goal line work. So, yeah, I think you start both J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards this week. Yeah. Even though the match was pretty tough against the Colts. They're definitely one of the better defenses, one of the better run defenses as well. But, I mean, we saw it last week against the Steelers, who are, arguably the best defense in the NFL. They got it done on the ground there. So
you say arguably?
Yeah, arguably.
Well, because someone will argue it.
No, but I'm saying,
brah.
I just thought you should remove that word from that sentence.
He said, Steelers are rubbish, brah. We got to do our daily Hawaiian.
Hey, fuck.
Try them in a rubbish.
Bro, you try to run on a piece bog defense, brother.
Piece bog.
Hey, fuck, not going to happen, brother. Palomalu, he's fucking coming out from the ghost, brother.
He said, try Palomalu.
Try Palomalu, brother. The fucker, this guy coming out. You know what's funny is I said Palomalu, like how my uncle from Pittsburgh says Palomalu, but I said it with the fucking accent. That was so stupid. All right, we can move on to the next one here. We got DeAndre Swift.
I liked him last week. Now he's a bum. Go ahead, T. Tell him why.
So we're staying with a couple rookies right here that you could throw into your lineup.
Starting or sitting?
I'm starting DeAndre Swift.
Oh, okay.
I almost said DeAndre Hopkins.
I'm
starting.
DeAndre.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely starting DeAndre Swift this week. Hashtag interesting stat. Swift is averaging 0.5 fantasy points per snap, and that is the 5th most amongst all skill position players. So when my guy's on the field, he is being highly productive every time he's on the field and he's touching the ball. It says right here, see screenshot. But I think since the week 5 bye, they've been incorporating Swift a lot more in the offense, and he's kind of taken over. AP isn't going away anywhere. He's still being utilized a lot. He's still vulturing, some goal line work and some carries as well. But, I mean, since week 5, you've had DeAndre Swift out here getting a good amount of work. Let's see if I can find it. Where's it at?
That is a pretty wild stat, by the way, while you're looking for that.
No, for sure. I mean, it took a little bit of time, but I think that's because, this year there was no preseason, so it took him a little bit of extra, just snaps, work. Because, I mean, the NFL speed is way different than college.
Yeah.
So. What you got, T?
Yeah, since week 6, like I said, after the bye, he's had He's out-snapped AP and carry-on in week 6, 7, and 8, and the snap percentage has gone up from 38% to 45% to last week 62%. Now, I know they got smacked in week 8, and they were pretty much chasing the whole game, so they kind of had to abandon the run. I mean, the Colts were up pretty good. I mean, I think the Colts ended up putting up 41 points on them.
Yeah,
but
smacked them.
3 straight weeks, he's out-touched everyone. He's been like the main running back there. He's out-touched AP in weeks 6, 7, and 8. Kerryon Johnson's kind of just been an afterthought. I mean, he's had 5 touches one game, 0 the next, and then 2. He gets that little receiving touchdown in week 8. I mean, if it would have been Swift, you would have been hyped on that. But so yeah, DeAndre Swift is kind of taking over as the main guy in this offense, and he's just got like a safe floor. I mean, 11 or more PPR points in 5 of the 7 games, and he's incorporated the backfield. It's not AP who's the pass catching running back; it's DeAndre Swift. And the Vikings are allowing an average of 6 receptions to the running back position per game. So I think he'll have a safe floor with DeAndre Swift, and then he finds the end zone. I think he can get you like 18 plus points.
And he's safe.
Yeah.
He's safe, dude. That I will say that is probably one of the most wild stats I've heard. The first one he gave.
0.5
per
touch,
snap,
per
not
snap.
per snap. Just him being out there.
Which means if he's on the freaking field, coach.
If he's on the freaking field, coach, put him in your lineup,
Do
coach.
the freaking thing. All right, what we got next?
We got our boy here, James Robinson.
3 rookies in a row say word.
Say word. James Robinson's one of those guys I'm like, is he a rookie or is he just hidden? But no, he's a rookie.
I hate him.
Whose start is this?
This is Anthony's start, Billabong
my
boy.
bad.
He's not here. But, I mean, I feel like this is one of the guys that I was the most wrong on. We're like, we don't want anything to do with this Jaguars backfield. And, at first you were thinking like Raquel Armstead was. Mike, you actually said no, you'd be fading Armstead. Good call by you. But then even then we thought that it would be Chris Thompson.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I mean, I said that you never know that it
I
could
fucked
be
with James Robinson because I had him, but
I said you could. You never know. It's like you can add one of these guys as speculative, but I didn't. I mean, I didn't think we were still going to be talking about this guy in week 9. I thought.
I was actually trying to go back to have you clip it for fucking. I guess this is a good humble brag because I was like, I like this guy. He's fucking good.
Yeah, but yeah, they're playing the Texans. Texans giving it up like Claire.
Oh. Yeah. Well, one day she's gonna sue you for defamation, defaming her name, dude.
Claire can't afford internet, dude.
She's like,
she doesn't have this.
She's like, my kids asked me what giving it up like Blair means.
No, we're talking about Claire, right? Claire.
Yeah, sure.
Gail, giving it up like Gail. All right, dude. But yeah, they're playing the Texans. Texans rush defense is not very good. I think the Jaguars. I think that they're going to be up on this game, even without Gardner.
Wait, really? See, I literally was about to ask, do you think there's a chance he might lose value? Because I feel like the Texans are going to be smacking them. Gardner Minshew's not even playing. It's Jake Luton, which I do like from Morgan State. He has a cannon. Watch him. It's not
like you. Okay, Gardner's good. He's good for the locker room, but it's not like he's been just absolutely a monster and like keeping them in games and whatnot lately. As of late, the past 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, no, I mean,
you know what I mean. So my point is that I don't think him going out, all of a sudden, the Jaguars are even worse of a team.
No, I think I'm more alluding to the fact that the Texans just had a really tough schedule to start. Like they played good teams. They're way better than their record shows.
They played Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's it. And
Week
they played the Chiefs week 1.
Yeah, it's rough.
So they've had a tougher schedule. I'm just saying I feel like the Texans are better than their record shows, and I think they're just a better team than Jacksonville.
Yeah. But James Robinson, he gets incorporated in the passing game a lot, so it's safe floor. And then, I feel like a lot of times he's saving value where it'll be like late in the game and he'll fall into the end zone in the 4th quarter, and then that'll really boost his production there. But you're starting James Robinson.
Yeah, I'm for sure starting him, but I can see the Texans smacking them to where like the last 6 minutes James Robinson don't even play.
Yeah.
But that's just me just thinking the Jags are going to get schmacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're dialing up James Robinson.
Yeah, but he's still playing. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to play him, especially in this this running back climate as of lately with Myles Gaskin and such going out. Let's go on to we got Deejay Dallas.
Another rookie, dude. Is that freaking 5?
So, yeah, that's pretty
Start
wild.
your rookie running backs this week.
Start them. No, but so.
Except for maybe next one.
Oh, I think.
Yeah, there's another rookie actually coming up.
Is there?
Actually, there's 2 more rookies coming up. Holy shit. There's
So
7 rookies.
Deejay Dallas, it's basically him and Travis Homeboy.
Travis it's actually pronounced Humbai.
Humbai.
There you go.
Travis Humbai. So yeah, Deejay Dallas, I think you can light him up. What you've paid it, if you pay any attention to the Seahawks and how they play, every running back that they have, they end up using him pretty well, and he becomes pretty fantasy relevant. Whoever may be, Deejay Dallas is looking pretty good this past week. I think go for it, start him.
Yeah, he's kind of like last man standing there, but I mean, he's a talented rookie, and every time we bring him up, I always say he reminds me of Frank Gore, kind of his rushing ability and the way he would run through the tackles. Coincidence, they both play at the U. But yeah, I do like Deejay Dallas this week. Like you said, Carson's out, Hyde's out, and the Bills' run defense is not good. I mean, a couple weeks ago, CEH, before Le'Veon got there, he ran all over them. Even last week, you had Damian Harris go over 100 rushing yards. Cam had some good rushing yards as well. So yeah, one thing you can do on the Bills is you can run all over them. And then Deejay Dallas, a capable pass catcher. He used to be a receiver, so he's a capable pass catcher out of the backfield. Safe floor. This is probably one last week that you can utilize him because Carson and Hyde might be back next week. But yeah, definitely dialing up
if there's
Deejay Dallas this week.
If there's a week to start him, do it now.
Yeah.
Speaking of starts, keep going here. We got Chase Edmonds. You got no Kenyon Drake. They're playing Miami Dolphins. Miami's defense is pretty decent. I would say your secondary is a little bit better maybe. If I had to say. But I think you can still start Chase Edmonds. I think this is going to be a big game. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, no Drake. This is kind of a no-brainer, but just wanted to throw him in here in case anyone was even thinking about it or contemplating it, or maybe they're like, I don't know. Like if you're in an 8-man league or a 10-man league and you're stacked at running back, maybe you're thinking like, I don't have to start Chase Edmonds. But if I have Chase Edmonds, he probably has top 5 upside. Because just imagine if you were to Super Saiyan fuse Drake and Edmonds in any single game this season, that running back would probably be like a top 5 running back each and every single week. No Drake. Benjamin might get incorporated here and there, but Chase Edmonds should have a full 3-down workhorse role, and the upside is just crazy good for that guy. If you have him, enjoy the points that he's going to put up for you.
Speaking of Benjamin, I think that's a good speculative ad. I think after this week, you never know. I think Benjamin could get a little bit more involved than we're anticipating, and I think it'll be good if you have an extra bench spot. Running backs are,
at a premium.
At a premium these days. So I think you can throw Benjamin on your bench if you have that open spot. Just my thought. Get it a week early, then have to use waiver wire next week.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying? We can go on to our next one here. We got our sit, Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, we used to say his equal is no one, and that's it. But, I mean, and I was telling you this off air, Mike. It's kind
wild.
It's kind of like, I don't know if it's, I mean, my guy got paid, so he's not really playing for anything. They're not going to make the playoffs. Dak is out. It's almost like when you see Zeke out there running, like he's just going through the motions. Like he doesn't care. Like he knows they're not good. He knows they're not going to win. He already got paid. So there's really no motivation or no incentives for Zeke to go out there and try to do his best. So when you see him out there, like I said, it's like he's just going through the motions. Like he just doesn't care. He's lackadaisical. Maybe that's why he's fumbling the ball so much, because he just doesn't care. As much as if like Zach was out there, they're like making a playoff push. But I mean, just hashtag interesting stat. Since Dak's injury from weeks 6, 7, and 8, Zeke is actually the RB 32 in half-point PPR, and he's the RB 28 in PPR. That's not good for a guy who I drafted probably in the top overall. 5 overall picks.
Yeah, probably not. Goes to show you how important Dak is.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, who do you have that you're going to sit Zeke over? But I mean,
would you play Chase Edmonds over Zeke?
I would definitely play Chase Edmonds over Zeke.
Yeah, against Pittsburgh. Yeah, I think
there'd be a lot of players I'd be playing over Zeke.
Not to mention, it's a hard matchup.
James Robinson over Zeke.
I would play James Robinson over Zeke.
Well, that's wild.
I would.
Damian Harris.
Now that's where you're getting like, okay, maybe. But he's also dealing with a hamstring injury that had popped up during the week, and they were saying that they might monitor him or they might limit his workload. So it's like now you got a guy who's has been underperforming.
Saying Zeke.
On it, yeah.
Yeah, he's at that. He's just like
Yeah, so you got a guy who's underperforming.
He's pulling an AJ Green.
He's dealing with a hamstring injury that popped up last week. The offense is not very good. They have a third, fourth string quarterback in there, and they're playing against one of the best defenses, arguably, in the NFL. I mean, the Steelers' run defense is really tough.
Chaffo.
So, and he's been held to under 10 PPR points in the last 2 games. So, I mean, like, what's his ceiling at this point? So, if you are stacked at running back, I would be fading Zeke right here. I feel like if he doesn't fall into the end zone with the hurt hammy and the tough matchup, I mean, what's the upside that he could give you if he doesn't fall into the end zone?
Yeah, I mean, or if you're in a league with a better receiver, like I have a league where I have Jacobs and Kamara, but receivers are Robinson, Davante Adams, Will Fuller. Will Fuller's on my flex. I'm playing Will Fuller over Zeke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you could have 3 receivers where there's a receiver that's also.
How the fuck did you get Kamara, Zeke, and Josh Jacobs?
No, I don't have Zeke. I'm saying if he were on my team, he wouldn't even be playing.
Yeah. If you had that team, that would be pretty good, though.
But the rest of that team is nice, though.
That would be pretty good.
And I do have J.K. Dobbins and David
I just think
Harris
he's no longer that RB1 that you drafted in the top 5 overall. He's fallen to this like middling RB2 that you're just starting now due to the name.
If you can trade, I have Zeke in one league and I'm trying to trade him like very badly. I want to get him out.
I will say in one of my leagues 2 weeks ago, he did it early. He like noticed it early. The minute Dalton started, he traded Zeke and DJ Moore for Mike Evans and James Robinson.
Nice.
So, I mean, you win, you lose, but I would rather have James Robinson than Zeke for show.
Yeah, at this point, wild. Yeah, I think I would. And it's gross, but, I mean.
If you can let go of the name, like you said, T, and just get over the fact that he's a name.
Tony Pollard looks more explosive than Zeke right now.
Zeke don't give a fuck right now. Look,
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he just doesn't care because, like I said, he got paid. They're not going to make the playoffs. So it's like, why is he going to go out there and go 110% and risk getting injured? Or, he just doesn't care, I feel like.
Definitely
he got paid. He doesn't care.
I'm with you 100% on that one, Tyler. Now this one, I know you aren't 100% with me on here because I put Jordan Howard as a sit. This was Anthony's, but I kind of am with Anthony. I can't trust Jordan Howard because
he should put this under squat. He should sit squat. Sorry,
I feel like he's gonna pull a Mark Sanchez butt fumble. I think it's not gonna be good for Jordan Howard. Did I get you on that one? Yeah, I just I can't. Look, I don't want to wake up Monday morning and be like, damn,
then don't
I just played Jordan Howard and lost my league because of it. I'd rather be wrong with him on my bench than be right with him in my lineup.
Yeah, I'm good.
I feel you. So, Dre, you agree sitting him too? Yeah,
I wouldn't even pick him up.
Jordan Howard.
Yeah, dude.
Him and Sonny Michel, bro.
Did Jordan Howard hook up with your girl or something, or what?
Maybe.
All right, I know this is gonna sound like a homer pick, and it is gross. Before I try to justify starting Jordan Howard, it's gross, and I get it. And, he's been a healthy scratch for the last couple weeks because it's been the Myles Gaskin show there, and he's been like the 3-down running back. He's been, Breida's been getting incorporated here and there, but Breida's out with a hamstring injury this week. Myles Gaskin is on IR. He's going to be out for 3 weeks. So the running backs the Dolphins have are Jordan Howard, that they went out and got in the offseason, so there was something there that they liked. Patrick Laird Laird.
They like something.
Yeah, they liked his 1-yard touchdown.
I get it. But listen, Patrick Laird's there as well. He's probably going to see the field for sure, Patrick Laird. But he's more of like that 3rd-down receiving back. And then you got Sullivan, what's his name?
Savon Ahmed.
Savon Ahmed. Who knows how much he's going to get incorporated. The guy hasn't seen the field yet. Lynn Bowden's been out. So
don't forget.
It's a fact, though, all they have is Jordan Howard to run the football with. And I get it. It's not going to be pretty. But for what it's worth, my guy has a nose for the end zone. In the first 3 weeks of the season, he scored a touchdown in each 3 weeks. I was telling you, Mike, that's 6 points right off the jump. Because I'm assuming the Dolphins are going to be able to get close in this game and be able to at least score at least 1 rushing touchdown. So when they get in close, he's going to get the goal line work. And then just some numbers I saw here on Pro Football Focus. In the 7 games this season, the Cardinals have allowed 7 different running backs to score 10 or more fantasy points. Good signs right there if you're going to start Jordan Howard. I think he'll still see around 12 to 15 carries, like actual carries. And the Dolphins, they run the ball out of the shotgun at the 3rd highest rate in the NFL, 30% of the time. This is good because the Cardinals defense ranks 28th in terms of yards per attempt allowed on runs out of the shotgun. They're allowing 5.8 yards per run out of the shotgun, which the Dolphins do 30% of the time. So like I said, I know it's not going to be pretty, but if my guy gets 12 to 15 carries, 40, 45 yards, and he falls into the end zone, it's 10 points in a week where you have injuries, you got bye weeks. If you just need like an RB2, just like, hey, I just need someone to throw into my lineup who's going to put up some points, I'm not mad at starting Jordan Howard. I'm starting him in one league because Gaskin got hurt, and then someone else was on a bye. I can't think off the top of my head. But so no one is on the waiver wire. So it's like, all right, it's either Jordan Howard or Peyton Barber, you know? So it's like I'm starting
So
Jordan
we
Howard.
say sit, you say start.
Yeah, I'll go with start.
I say never pick up to consider. But they also picked up DeAndre Washington, and if DeAndre Washington knew the playbook, I would rather have DeAndre Washington play than Jordan Howard.
Yeah, he can't play this week, though, DeAndre Washington.
Yeah. But if he could, I would have him over Jordan Howard. But yeah, all right, next victim.
So Tyler says start, we say sit.
I say shoot in the
You
back.
heard the stats. I told you I don't want to trust them.
I say take him behind the barn.
I'm
and
going to
shoot
feel
him.
terrible on Monday if I started them and it didn't work. You know,
It's all right.
That's where I feel. But we can move on to our next one here. For our sits, we have Johnathan Taylor. Where'd this guy go? We're talking about Houdini X earlier in the episode.
Whose guy is this?
This guy, Johnathan Taylor, where does he went? This is Anthony's guy?
No, I'm just kidding. This is mine. This is easy. Well, one, he has an ankle problem. They're saying it's like a lingering ankle issue.
Got cankles or what?
Right. Last week, I mean, we saw their other two running backs do well. Naheem Hines was out there doing front flips and corkscrew flips and scoring tugs, and Jordan Wilkins did career high in fucking rushing yards. Well, this is a crazy thing. So, coming in, Taylor had the 4.2 whatever 40, and he was like, oh, this super fast guy can, break long runs. His longest run this year is only 21 yards, and other than the game where he ran for 100, he hasn't passed 70 yards in any other game. So, I'm good.
He's been kind of touchdown dependent.
Yeah.
I feel like if he'll get you like 60 yards on the ground and a touchdown, and you're like, okay, like, ooh, he got me 12 points. Or, he maybe gets you a catch area. So he's like, oh, he got me 12, 14 points. And you're like, okay.
That's like a Doug Martin game, like 10, 12, 12,
Doug
12,
Martin, I
14,
forgot about
12. Like, yeah, I'm good. Maybe next year, maybe later.
Did
But
Doug Martin retire?
I think the NFL retired him.
For sure. No, I agree on this one. It's tough. Like you said, ankle injury. You got the other running backs. And it's a tough matchup here. I mean, the Ravens' run defense is pretty stout. So if you have to start Johnathan Taylor, like I said, I know it's rough out there. He's touchdown dependent to me because I said even if he gets you 12 to 15 carries, maybe he gets you 60, 70 yards on the ground. But if he doesn't find the end zone, he's probably going to put up under 10 points for you. So he's a touchdown dependent, low-end RB2 if you need him for me.
As my guy would say on Hustle and Flow, man, it's hard out here for a pimp.
No.
It's
When you're trying to get the
hard
money
out
for the rent. Feel me? All right, anyway.
Yes, I do. Yes, I know what you're saying.
Okay, well, if you've
Seen that South Park episode?
I have not.
Devin Singletary. This is a Buffalo Bills combo. Devin Singletary and Zach Moss.
Well, go ahead and do that thing you do well and do it well then.
I think this is Anthony's guy actually.
Yeah, this was Anthony's guy right here. Billabong boy couldn't make it.
Billabong boy.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Would you? I mean,
They're playing the Seahawks, so it's going to be a very pass-happy game. I mean, I think they're just cutting into each other's work with Zach Moss and Singletary being between the 20s. Zach Moss being the guy on the other end of it.
I just feel like I can't trust either one.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not going to feel confident in it. Could you make an argument just because of the, like, if you lost Myles Gaskin or anything like that? I mean, at least for Devin Singletary, I would rather start Zach Moss if one of them, but I don't know. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
If I'm starting one, I'm going to start Zach Moss. Singletary's, like I said, he's the 20 to 20 guy, but when they get in the red zone, it seems like they're favoring Zach Moss. I mean, last week, Week 8, Zach Moss, 14 carries. Devin Singletary, 14 carries. But when they got in the red zone, Zach Moss, 6 carries, 3 goal line carries. Devin Singletary, 1 carry. So it's like when they get in close, it's the Zach Moss show. It's not Devin Singletary. So if you start Singletary, you're hoping that he breaks off a long run from the 40-yard, 30-yard line, whatever it may be, or he catches a screen pass or something like that, and he takes it to the house. Because if not, when they get in close, they're giving it to Zach Moss. I mean, I like the over in this game. I think they're going to be able to put up a lot of points. I think, the Seahawks are going to be able to score, but then on the same side, the Seahawks defense is not very good. So Russ is going to cook. He's going to be able to put up points. So I'm expecting a lot of points in this game. I'm expecting the Bills to be able to get close there inside the 5, inside the red zone. And like I just said, they're giving the ball to Zach Moss when they get in the red zone, not Singletary. So I'd be fading Singletary. I'm not mad at starting Zach Moss as like a low-end RB2, though.
I feel it. Get Devin Singletary out if you can. We got, I think this is the last one here. We got, Zach Moss. He came out of order. That's what happened. We got Ronald Jones. It seemed like Leonard Fournette was their back last week. It seems like it's like almost every other week we got a different back kind of leading the charge for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, this one kind of he's breaking my heart.
Breaking your heart.
Yeah, I have Rojo in a couple leagues, and I'm rooting for Rojo. I mean, I hope he comes through, but yeah, I mean, after the 3 weeks where he had the 100+ or more rushing yards, he's had back-to-back games where he's been held to under 35 rushing yards. He's kind of turned into like touchdown dependent. It's turning into like a full-blown committee there with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. I mean, Ronald Jones, he fumbles last week, so he goes into the doghouse, and then it turns into the Leonard Fournette show there. But, I mean, since Fournette has come back the last 2 games, he's actually out-touched Rojo 35-25, and Leonard Fournette has out-snapped Ronald Jones in both the games. The Saints are a top 5 rush defense, so you're telling me there's 2 running backs here against a top 5 rush defense. You know, Ronald Jones, not the best pass catcher. They've been actually leaning a lot on Fournette. He's been getting like 6
he's been getting a lot of
targets a game, it seems like. I just don't feel confident starting a guy like Ronald Jones. I would feel more confident. I know it sounds gross, but I feel more confident starting a guy like Jordan Howard, who I know is going to get 15 touches probably in goal line work over Ronald Jones. You gave me the craziest look.
What? Me?
Because I said I would start Jordan Howard over Ronald Jones this week.
No. I mean, I don't mind that. I'm saying is that, yeah.
What?
That's how you know you're crazy, when you can see that white part of the top part of your eye.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? Try and do that and not look crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I still can't see it.
I'm on crack, coach.
I'm on crack,
I'm not
coach.
crazy.
I just moved to Oregon, coach.
Yeah, they legalize everything.
I lost my train of thought. Oh, Leonard Fournette did not look good, though. Rushing the ball, he doesn't look that good. Do you think it's maybe he's just like better blocker or something like that? He's able to.
They just put him in the. I think they put him in the doghouse, and I mean, he's
like
healthy.
I feel like Leonard Fournette's better at blocking though.
Yeah, he's definitely a better
Ronald
third
Jones.
down pass protector.
He's more
They've come out and said that Fournette has taken over the LaShawn McCoy role, and LaShawn McCoy is basically that third down pass catching running back. So
He's chilling with Ben DiNucci.
if there's one guy I'm going to play here, they're both gross. Honestly, I would be fading both these guys. Like I just said, the Saints have a top 5 rush defense. This is Sunday Night Football. It's Brady versus Breeze. You got AB coming out, this shiny new toy for Brady. You got Michael Thomas coming back, Manny Sanders coming back. I'm expecting a shootout. I'm expecting a gun-slinging battle between Breeze and Brady. And, you know, unless one of these running backs, Fournette or Rojo, unless they fall in the end zone, I don't think you're going to be happy with the fantasy production they put up.
Yeah, Kamara all the freaking way, 2020.
Kamara all the freaking way. All right, well, we can move on to our starts for wide receivers.
Oh,
we're gonna start.
CEH,
We're gonna Oh, my bad.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck him, anyways.
My bad. You have CEH. Let's put him in here.
Nope, don't. Hey, there's nothing really to say. He fucking sucks. All right, next.
CH doesn't suck.
He doesn't
I was
suck.
going to defend him.
All right, well, he's not doing very good. He's not doing very good. Don't worry. He's only averaging 10.7 points per game in half-point PPR in the 2 games where he didn't run for 100 yards. That's not good. That's not worth a top 10 pick where he was going. 10.7, that's doo-doo. Le'Veon Bell's coming back. He's on the team. I just don't like where he got drafted to how he's playing. I don't like. He's like a RB2, if that.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to say, I think he's no longer this borderline RB1. He's kind of more of like a middle to low-end RB2.
And Johnathan Taylor.
With Le'Veon Bell there. But, I mean, I get it. CH, the last 2 weeks since Le'Veon Bell's been there, he's underperformed. I mean, he had the big game against the Bills where he had 165 yards, and then they get Le'Veon Bell, and it's just kind of all gone downhill from there. I mean, 9 touches in each game the last 2 weeks. But, I mean, it's not like Le'Veon Bell's come in and just, like, taken over the workhorse role, and like CH has been like delegated. It's like a backup role. He's still out touching Le'Veon Bell and out snapping Le'Veon Bell. And I mean, and this is just a money matchup right here. I mean, the Panthers have allowed the most rushing touchdowns in the NFL. They've allowed the 6th most rushing yards per carry, and they've allowed the most receptions to running backs. So like I said, he's no longer this like RB1 where you, like I said, you drafted him in the top 10, this first round pick to be this stud receiver, kind of like how Kareem Hunt was, I feel like, back in the day for the Chiefs. He's no longer that guy. He's more of like this RB2 who, you know, it sucks because he's splitting the work with Le'Veon. But I think this is a good matchup, and if you're going to dial up CH in any game, this is just as good a matchup as there is.
I feel like he's the opposite when we're like, oh, he's a RB2 with RB1 upside. He's more of an RB2 with flex upside. He's like backwards.
I'm not mad at that.
He's RB2 with flex upside. He's at an RB2 upside. But anyway.
All right, well, my bad. I didn't mean to miss that one on there.
Hey, listen,
that's
dude.
why I do the review at the beginning.
Dude, Helaire.
When someone's looking at poopers on their phone, maybe.
Dude, Helaire. You know what I said?
Looking at the poopers.
I said
Helaire. Talking about a trade that didn't happen.
Helaire.
Got a good brain.
Talking about a hypothetical trade. Instead of all right, let's go on to the wide receivers. Me and Tyler just wanted to add in here Antonio Brown because, you know, there's going to be a lot of people asking questions. They got to know, should I start him? Should I put him in? I say yes.
Yeah.
I say yes for the simple fact that Antonio Brown is now residing in the Tom Brady residence.
Yeah, they're roommates.
They're roommates right now. He's on house arrest. I'm saying start him. He's on house arrest with Tom Brady. He's watching over him.
He's on house arrest.
Every night, Tom Brady goes into his room, gives him a kiss goodnight, and says, "Can't wait to play with you on Sunday, baby."
Because you're on house arrest.
He says, "Mwah. I can't wait to throw you some touchdowns." And then he kisses him back and says, "I love you, Dad. I've never had a dad ever like you."
Or ever.
Ever.
I'm just kidding.
Just kidding. I'm not sure. That's really fucked up for us to say.
I just wanted to trick you.
Yeah, you tricked me because I fucking fell right for the trap, baby. But I love Antonio Brown this week. I love him in general. People are like, "Oh, I'm trying to trade and see what I can get for him." People don't want to give me what I want for him because I'm telling you, this guy's going to finish. Coming in week 9, he's going to finish. No, I should be careful what I'm saying right now.
Hey, can he finish a top 35? Can he finish in the top 35?
He can finish in the top 10.
Okay. Well, in that case.
That's not true.
Well, in that case, the Angels could win the pennant.
But
it could happen.
here's the thing. I think he can start Antonio Brown swimmingly. It's going to go over very well. You quote it. You can take me screenshot this, record it, screen record it, slide your phone up, press that record button, start him.
And quite frankly, I agree.
I agree, too. I mean, you don't just get a guy like AB and, you know, Arians has come out and said he's going to have a role. He's like, is his role going to be 10 snaps? It could be 35 snaps. Like, he's not going to play a full 100% of the snaps.
Dude, he could have 5 snaps. He's going to get 5 receptions for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Probably. I agree. I mean, if you have Antonio Brown, I'm definitely starting him this matchup. It's Sunday Night Football. Like I just said, I'm expecting Breeze and Brady to have a duel.
By the way, they played one game together, scored a touchdown, put up like 20 fantasy points.
What's kind of cool about this game is they keep going back and forth for most career touchdown passes. So they literally pass each other like every touchdown pass. So it's going to be cool to just watch them go back and forth. Ooh, what a catch. Yeah, I think it's good. I'm happy for Antonio Brown. I think people for sure forgot how good he fucking was. He was stupid. So it's good to have him back.
And it's not like he's not like he was injured or like.
Yeah, I mean
he was mentally injured.
Yeah.
You have Marshawn Lattimore who's going to shadow Mike Evans, and over the course of their career, Marshawn Lattimore has done a pretty decent job on limiting Mike Evans. Chris Godwin, we still don't know if he's going to play or not because his
my fingers hurt.
Yeah.
His fingers hurt. He's been practicing, but we still don't know if he's going to play or not. Probably a game time decision. But even if he plays, I think that just helps AB. Because that's just another weapon that the defense has to account to. But, yeah, I'm with all you guys right here. I'm definitely starting AB. I'll take the risk versus the reward. I'll take the risk.
Look at that
because the reward will definitely be worth it to play AB.
You gotta start him. You gotta start him. All right, that's enough talk. We're almost at an hour, guys. We're really going through here. Another start right here. We got Mike Williams.
Oh, shit, my guy. He kind of reminds me of Davante Parker. a little bit, but
I feel like whenever someone new listens to the podcast, they're like, "What? What is? Why is that funny?"
it's like on the sleeper app. I don't know if you've noticed, like the news thing. The joke is like, how does that affect Marlon Mack? Like that's like a thing on there. I don't know why, but that anyway. I put he's getting better as Herbert is like flourishing under the offense. He's averaging 15. Goddamn, Mike Williams got me all freaking cracked up. 15 fantasy points per game over his last 3 games, but really it's his 2 big games that he had in between with a doo-doo game kind of mixed in there. 3 TDs in 3 games, 17.3 yards per catch. But what I like is the Raiders have given up 260 yards per game through the air the last 3 games. That's 8th highest, and I expect a shootout in this game. I already said that with Carr. So I expect Mike Williams to get you 5 for 90, 5 for 100 and a touchdown. I think him and Keenan Allen find the end zone again. And that's it.
I mean, you already know me and my love affair for Mike Williams. So
Yeah.
I had to say it when we did the waiver wire episode. Like, I needed an unbiased opinion by everyone. I mean, he's boom or bust. He is what he is. I mean, he's either going to get you 20-plus points or he's going to get you 1 catch for 5 yards. But like you said, when Herbert's slanging that thing and, he's looking really good, and I think Herbert leads the NFL in 50-plus yard touchdowns.
Already.
I mean, when you're looking for who's the deep threat guy, it's Mike Williams. I mean, he could have had 2 touchdowns last week. The DB made a crazy interception. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Williams, like I said, he's that guy where he's open even when he's not open. Just a big-body guy. So I'm willing to take that upside of the 20 points. Obviously, like I said, he could bust, but I'm willing to take that upside that he offers.
Do you guys want to hear my impression of Tyler going over Mike Williams' stats?
Yep. I can't hear. You have something in your mouth. What is
No,
that?
yeah.
I'm kidding.
That's all. I'm choking on all these stats. All right.
He's choking on Mike Williams'
Is that a
dreadlocks.
bad joke?
He's
I
choking
don't
on-
know. Was that not tasteful?
choking on his dreadlocks.
No, hey, listen. I like Mike Williams. I picked him up in a league. I might start him this week. It might feel spicy. Might do it. Might not because I have. Hit the cord.
I drafted him.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So
take him.
I'm just joking, guys. It's all jokes here, but we're gonna say start Will Fuller. Stat him.
Oh, do that thing.
Whose is this? Is this mine? Is this
Oh,
yours?
this is my dog.
This your guy?
It's my dog.
That's
Will
my
Fuller.
dog.
That's my
But,
dog.
Finally healthy.
baby song.
He's a beast. He has 5 touchdowns. I was going to say 5 touchdowns in 5 straight games. He has a touchdown in 5 straight games. I'm just kind of more reiterating since he had a bye week. People might have forgot how real he is this year. He's on pace for over 100 targets for the first time in his career, if he can stay healthy. He's facing a Jags defense ranked 28th in the league in pass defense. He's Deshaun Watson's number 1 guy. He obviously heard how the Packers were trying to get him for a second, and the Texans were like, no, he's worth more than that. But I feel like it was more, if they traded him, then Deshaun Watson was probably going to just stab himself in the leg and be out for the season because he wasn't going to have anybody.
Deshaun Watson would just be like,
But as long as he's healthy, he's a set it and forget it. I mean,
Yeah.
he was hurt 1 game and he's done good every other game. He's
yeah,
a problem.
That was the most annoying injury. So pay attention for last second Will Fuller things because you never know with this guy. But
He's been good this year though.
yeah, except for that 1 game where Tyler beat me.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
but other than that, he's a monster.
I'm just saying is like, people don't hurt themselves like stretching, and that
Calvin
happened
really
to
got
Will
me
Fuller.
0 that game, too. So they canceled out.
He's a top
What?
15. He's a top 15 receiver in standard leagues right now, even with a bye week. So
Yeah, so
he's a borderline wide receiver 1.
you need to relax, dude.
Dude, Mike, when you talk, this is all I hear.
Hey, who would you rather have, Allen Robinson or Will Fuller?
I have both.
So do I. So do I. But I also have Davante Adams.
I'd rather have
does he.
Will Fuller. Yeah, same.
Does he?
I have Davante Adams, Keenan Allen, Will Fuller, and Allen Robinson.
Damn. I have Deontay
Yes.
Johnson. I have Deontay Johnson.
Picked up
as
Mike
my-
Williams. Hello.
My running backs are Jacobs, Kamara, though.
I'm good at getting receivers. That's about it.
I think I'm going to be the defending champion and win
Wait,
class in a row.
guys, we need to cover this.
Cover where? Who's covered?
Yeah, I'm covered.
Well,
You.
hey, perfect segue. Will Fuller cannot be covered. Next.
No, I was going to say I'd rather have Will Fuller over Allen Robinson. You asked a question and didn't listen for my answer. All right, let's go on to Justin Jefferson. We said we were going to foreshadow when we were talking about Kirk Cousins earlier,
want some
and here we
foreskin?
are. We're in the future. We've shadowed this forward. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
foreskin
I like
foreshadow.
Justin Jefferson. I know last week if you started him, you were pretty disappointed, but I'm definitely going back to the rookie from LSU. Like I said with Cousins, I mean, the Lions secondary, they give up the deep ball pass a ton. 37 receptions of 15 or more yards. That's fourth most in the NFL. And with Justin Jefferson, he has 10 big plays, which is tied fourth most in the NFL. Big play equals 20 or more receiving yards, so this is just a recipe for success. Like I said, the Lions, they just give it up through the air, deep balls. You know, Justin Jefferson, 100 or more receiving yards in 3 of the 7 games. I'm going to say that he's going to have another 100 yards right here in this game. Dial up Justin Jefferson. He's a top 20 play for me this week.
In his defense last week, I think where did they play, the Vikings?
Well, Dalvin Cook just scored every single touchdown, and they were blowing out the Packers, I think, so they didn't need to.
Well, I would say that the weather was not very great there as well.
Yeah, I don't know. But they're just scoring on the ground. I mean, when Dalvin Cook's breaking off runs and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you know
they,
what you
they
do
really need to throw
when
the
the
ball.
weather's not good, you run the ball.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Just saying.
But yeah, I definitely down on Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, for sure. We got start right here. We got Cole Beasley.
The Beasles.
The Beasles. He's been sneaky, actually. You know, he was sneaky good in the end of last year.
Dude, he's on pace for more catches than Tyreek Hill this year.
Yeah. And
Zing.
Well, Tyreek Hill doesn't catch very much. Like, I feel like he's just more of a big play guy.
Well, you're a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Psych.
I am.
Yeah, so Cole
smart.
Beasley's my guy. It's kind of Cole Beasley, and I would feel comfortable even starting John Brown as well. But yeah, Cole Beasley, this is more of like PPR right
both.
here. Cole Beasley, he's pretty much had 10 or more PPR points in 7 of the 8 games. The only game he didn't put up 10 or more points was last week. Kind of had a dud game right there. But, I mean, my guy is just getting it done. He's been consistent. He's a top 25 wide receiver in PPR leagues. And the matchup is just money. He's playing against the Seattle Seahawks. Their defense is terrible. They've allowed the most receptions to wide receivers, the most receiving yards to wide receivers, and they're tied 6th most touchdowns allowed to wide receivers. So I'm expecting another safe floor for Cole Beasley right here. I mean, if you're like in a 3 wide receiver league or you just need a flex play, Cole Beasley is like the perfect set it and forget it guy because you know he's going to get you 10, 12 points. And you don't have to worry about him. He's not going to win your week maybe, but he's definitely not going to lose you your week. So, yeah, I do like Cole Beasley. And then even, John Brown coming back, weeks 1, weeks 2, big games, got the touchdown. We're talking about how Diggs could help him potentially, being out there because now he's seeing the number 2 corners instead of the number 1. Like I just said, all those numbers with the Seahawks defense, they're not very good. So I'm dialing up all these pass catches for the Bills. I mean, you're automatically starting Stephon Diggs, but Cole Beasley, John Brown, I'm throwing him in my lineup too.
Who wins this game? Seattle. It's in Buffalo.
I'm going the Buffalo Bills
Me
at
too.
home.
Jamal Adams is back, so I feel like that's
think
why
they'll-
it'd be better for Beasley too, because he's going to be helping shadow Diggs. So I'm going to say the Bills also. Still,
Cover 3.
it's covered me.
Cover 3 points.
Yeah, way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that.
I like Beasley too, though. He's on
Yeah.
pace for 88 catches for 988. 80, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
That's pretty good for a guy who wasn't even getting drafted
yeah.
at all.
82 catches for 988 and
Yeah.
4 touchdowns.
Okay,
It's
let's
not
move
bad.
on to this next one here. We got
Christian.
Christian Kirk. This is one of the fades here. We're going to sit Christian Kirk. I know he had the big game against Seattle. Why aren't you playing him? Is it because your guys' corners are really good?
That is definitely part of it right there. I mean,
And you think he's going to get hit really
my
hard?
guy Christian Kirk is just scoring touchdowns like crazy. He's 5 touchdowns in the last 4 games. For a guy who prior to this year has not been a touchdown guy. I mean, I think he had like 3 in one game last year, and he had 3 total all season. So just not a guy who tends to find the end zone regularly. In 4 of the 6 games, he's failed the top 60 receiving yards or more, and he's most likely going to see Xavier Howard. He lines up most of the time on his side. I'm curious to see if the Dolphins will shadow Xavier Howard with D-Hop, but we have 2 good corners. We have Xavier Howard, and we paid Byron Jones. We made him the highest paid corner prior to Ramsey getting paid a ton of money, but we have 2 corners that are pretty much making top 5 cornerback money, and they're both really good. So I'm not sure if they're going to shadow, but I just wouldn't feel comfortable starting Christian Kirk. He's got to find the end zone, in my opinion, to bring back any type of fantasy value for you. If not, I think he's actually just going to get shut out, and this will just be a D-Hop game where we see D-Hop get targeted 15 times.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. I concur. I think I got these kind of out of order here, but
it doesn't matter.
This next one, we got Davante Parker.
Yeah.
You wanted me to throw him in here, right, Tyler?
Yeah, because I'm fading him. What are you doing?
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, excuse me.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to throw him in here because another name where, people might be on the fringe of stardom, sit-em. You don't know what to do. So I just kind of wanted to get your guys' personal opinion on what you guys would be doing with Davante Parker.
I'm not going to play any Dolphins offensive players until I see more of Tua.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the first game they didn't want to rush Tua to do well. I know he didn't play that well. He only had like 90 passing yards, but I think that the defense got them the lead early, and I think that they were like, okay, we're just gonna run the ball and keep the ball away from Tua from we don't need to use them. We want to ease them into this coming off the injury and whatnot. I mean, so I think that he could have the possibility of throwing the ball more in this game. I think that this game is going to be closer than the Rams one, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I had to guess.
I'm a homer pick. I'll even say before I try to justify it, but I would still be starting Davante Parker. I mean, there's been a lot of reports that are saying that Patrick Peterson might shadow Davante Parker. I mean, I get it. Tua, like Mike said, they were easing him into it. We still don't know what to expect, so maybe you don't feel comfortable playing him. I would still be willing to flex Davante Parker at least. I'm not worried about Patrick Peterson. I mean, we saw Davante Parker rape Stephon Gilmore, who won Defensive Player of the Year, so it's not a matter of, Patrick Peterson's going to lock down Davante Parker and shut him out. It's just a matter of, is Tua going to target him, and is Tua going to get him the football? I think he will. You got the other cornerback for the Cardinals, Drake Kirkpatrick. He's out, so I'm not sure if Patrick Peterson is going to shadow Davante Parker or not. If he does not shadow Davante Parker, I think Davante Parker could have a monster game. I'm not sure they're going to really rely on Jordan Howard too much. I think we're going to see them actually, or I'm expecting them to kind of let the leash loose on Tua. And I think the Cardinals are going to be able to score some points. So the Miami, is going to have to be able to go back there and throw the ball. So I do like Davante Parker in this matchup. Homer pick, call it a homer pick. But, the guy's super talented. And Tua's, known to be super accurate. I think if you just put the ball up for Davante Parker, he's one of those guys where even when he's covered, he's still open. So I'd be one to at least flex Davante Parker still.
Yeah. I agree. I concur. It's possible flex. I don't love it, but I can understand if you are in a spot why you would play him. Let's go on to our next sit here. We got T.Y. Hilton. This is more any Colts wide receiver here, if I have this written down correctly.
Yeah, I think T.Y. Hilton's doubtful.
He's doubtful, but
I'm doubtful that he's going to do good even if he plays.
Yeah. So, you just have a Colts receiver in here just for name place. Who is this? Yours, Dre? No, I don't think so. Right? No, this was Anthony. So
is it? I don't know. It could be mine. It doesn't matter.
No, but here's the thing: is any Colts wide receiver, I wouldn't start them. You're literally limited to Michael Pittman and who else? A couple you named off a couple guys. Zach Pascal,
Marcus Johnson, I think his name is.
Ashton Doolin.
I think one of them could. I think one of them could possibly have some fantasy relevance this week, but it's your guess is as good as mine who it's going to be. So I think that's why you can fade any Colts receiver this week.
It's crazy how T.Y. Hilton just fell off a cliff without Andrew Luck.
No, I mean, truly.
It's kind of like just a random name, but Sidney Rice from the Minnesota Vikings, a guy who burst onto the scene when Brett Favre got there, and then Brett Favre left or retired or whatever, and people were still drafting Sidney Rice really high because of what he did when
went to the Seahawks, right?
Yeah, when he was with Brett Favre, and that was just the end of Sidney Rice. He was just non-existent, and I don't want to say T.Y. Hilton's success was based on Andrew Luck, but you can't say that it didn't help to have a guy like Andrew Luck there to give T.Y. Hilton the success that he had. I mean, a guy who got drafted, he was drafted in the 5th, 6th round, so it wasn't like he was one of these guys who was highly coveted coming into the NFL, like a first-round receiver. But, yeah, I just think it's crazy that T.Y. Hilton, in a contract year, has been able to get it going this season at all.
Yeah. Wild stuff. All right, we got Robby Anderson as a sit here. You mentioned earlier how Robby Anderson seems like he's not getting as much of the love as DJ Moore is.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think that he's a sit.
It's going up against the Chiefs this week.
Yeah, no. So I did put in DJ Moore's coming in hot, but he only has one touchdown all year, and that was week 1. In his last 3 games, he's averaging 6.6 points per game in standard leagues and 9.1 points per game in half-point PPR. I put sell. I mean, in standard leagues, he's only passed 10 points one time in his last 7 games. So he's just – and if you look at obviously it's single digits, no fucking shit. But, yeah, he's one of those guys that started off hot. You know, Rule was using his college guy. Team started keying in on him, and now it's DJ Moore. DJ Moore's the better receiver. I think he's fading. I would have tried to sell him a couple weeks ago. It's just getting worse and worse. And like I said, the Chiefs are a good defense.
He does have value in PPR leagues. I'm
agree
with you on trading, but I think you, if anything, if you're gonna start him, do it in a PPR league. But I can see where you want to sit him here.
And like if someone's inquiring about him, I'll be like, what do you got?
I'd be trying to trade for him. I wouldn't mind having him. I mean, I get it. I think you and Anthony are more the DJ Moore side. Mike kind of brought up Robby Anderson. I don't know if he has one or the other that he likes. I'm still on the Robby Anderson train. I think he's the better receiver for this offense, at least. Maybe not overall better receiver, but for this offense, I think he's a better receiver that fits this system. And Anthony kind of said it. It's like you would think of Robby Anderson being this deep threat guy and DJ Moore kind of being like the underneath PPR guy, but it's like they've like flip-flopped roles where Robby Anderson is getting all this underneath stuff and DJ Moore is kind of the one who's stretching the field. I still start him as like a wide receiver 3 flex guy, but it is a tough matchup. The Chiefs' pass defense has been pretty stout in terms of defending. Like you said, if you don't like Teddy Bridgewater, it's kind of hard to like these pass catchers here. So you're saying sit Robby Anderson. How do you feel about DJ Moore then? Are you still playing DJ Moore?
100%. I was actually watching film, and then they actually brought it up on NFL Network. Last game where DJ Moore was like getting kind of shut out till the end, they were giving Robby Anderson all the deep routes, and DJ Moore was just running these underneath routes, and he was open, and Teddy just wasn't throwing him the ball. And they were talking about how they're like, just get him the ball in space and let him run. Yeah. I just like DJ Moore's upside more. I feel like Robby Anderson's route tree is, I mean, it's deep ball, it's a flag, and then like something quick, to where I feel like DJ Moore can get open better. But I mean, it's all where Teddy Bridgewater's looking. But I'm starting DJ Moore, especially because it's no coincidence that Robby Anderson's last 3 games, he's been shit, and DJ Moore's been balling his last 3 games. Balling.
Yeah, but DJ Moore's been a bum for a lot of time. DJ Moore's boomer bust. We talked about
this year
receivers who are boomer bust. DJ Moore's been a boomer bust.
I
think it's just who gets the targets. I feel like if any of these guys, there's been a lot of games where some of these guys, they'll get 10 targets, and whoever gets 10 targets, I think you're going to be productive, at least in PPR, because you get 10 targets, you're probably going to get about 5 catches, 50, 60 yards, so you get a safe floor right there.
He's on pace for a good amount of targets. Yeah. Damn, he's doing better than I thought. I mean, 3 games, he has 17, 12, 24.
Okay, 3. Yeah. There's been 8 weeks.
All right, well, he has 7, 16, 8, 7, 17, 12, 24, 6.5. That's not that bad.
Okay. Fair enough. No. I know
his worst game was last week all year, 6.5. That's the worst game he's had all year. So I'll take that. His yards per catch I mean, he played the Falcons when they couldn't stop him.
He's rushing the ball. I mean, he's rushing the ball a bunch too. All right, let's move on to Amari Cooper. Listen, dude, Dak Prescott goes out, and so does his team. I mean, do I need to say anything more?
DJ Moore, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. No.
I mean, I don't know. What do you feel comfortable? Because at one point it was like you're starting all 3 of these Cowboy receivers. You're starting Cooper. You're starting Gallup, even though he's been inconsistent. CeeDee Lamb was just an automatic 5 for 50+ receiving yards every single week. Do you feel confident starting any of these guys? I mean, last week Amari Cooper only 1 catch, and he got it at the tail end of the game. Now you're getting a 3rd, 4th string quarterback coming in.
No.
Tough matchup against the Steelers. I know the Steelers pass defense, Mike, you could probably attest to this too. Steelers pass defense, not the strength of that defense, but if you have an inexperienced quarterback behind there who's getting pressured, because the Steelers, they bring the house with Bud Dupree and TJ Watt. They're getting pressured. Does it give the quarterback enough time to really drop back? I mean, you still have Joe Hayden. You still got Minka Fitzpatrick back there.
I think if Amari Cooper has any fantasy value this week, it's going to be off of like 2 plays, maybe 1 big play. It's not going to be he's not going to be eating up the the Steelers secondary. For that reason, like you said, we've actually Robert Spillane, the linebacker who came in for Devin Bush when he went out with the ACL. He's actually been doing really well. Like the defense is actually clicking. We got an injury and it's clicking even more. I know that it doesn't show as much against the Ravens, but so I think if it's going to be off of maybe one or two plays, if anything, if he has fantasy value this week. But yeah, I mean, I would try and trade Amari Cooper if I had him. I'm not going to trade for him. I've been offered him in some trades. I don't want it.
Hell no.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, that DiNucci guy, he got in college. Nathan Peterman took his job. If that says anything. And then obviously
It's
he's
a bad
benched.
matchup,
It's
bad
just,
script.
It's a bad
Everything's
situation.
all the arrows are pointing down for Amari Cooper here. Like you said, if you're starting him, just know that he's a high risk, high reward. He can come out and get you 2 for 24. He could come out and get you, 5 for 80 and tug, but he's boom or bust.
Don't feel obligated to play Amari Cooper anymore.
It's crazy how big of a difference Dak makes. He was the number 1 receiver in PPR, on pace for almost 200 targets. Automatic start, and he was not even boom or bust anymore. Dak was throwing it 50 million times. Now I literally wouldn't start Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
I don't even want him.
It's wild. That's what I said. Yeah, I would. I've been offered him, and I don't want him.
Yeah, I would. It's crazy.
All right, let's move on to the next one here. We got Marquise Brown as a sit. Baltimore Ravens, Hollywood Brown. I could sit this guy every week. I traded for him in one league, and then I traded him literally the next week.
Yeah,
I
I was
him
big
out
on
in
him this
package.
year. I was big on the Lamar Jackson progression train, but it's caca sandwich.
Mama's wrong again.
I mean, Lamar just hasn't looked good as a passer. I mean, he's not even running the ball, and that was where his real value was. I mean, Marquise Brown, he's another guy where he's high risk, high reward. He can come out and get you 5 for 80 in a tug, like I just said, or, I mean, even last week, he gets you 1 catch for 3 yards. He gets you a touchdown, but, I mean, that's 7.3 points in full point PPR. That's not good for a guy who came out there and scored a touchdown. A guy who's supposed to be like a field stretcher, a big play guy. He's just too inconsistent for me. I have 0 shares of Hollywood Brown because of how inconsistent he is. I'm more of like I like a safe floor, at least with these players each and every week. I try to avoid the boom bust type players. I mean, if you're in a situation where like you have to aim for the roof, you have to aim for the ceiling, then maybe you go out and start Marquise Brown. Hopefully he hits a home run for you and he gets you 20, 25 points. But if it's me personally, I just want nothing to do with it. I don't want to take the inconsistency of him coming out and putting up a dud game. So with how bad Lamar Jackson's been, the Colts defense is one of the better defenses in the NFL. I'd be sitting Marquise Brown.
I'm with you. I like it. Don't put him in. Don't start Marquise.
Boomer bust. He's boomer bust.
Too much. So we'll move on to the tight ends here. We got TJ Hockenson. You're starting TJ Hockenson. Why is that? Let me know, baby.
Yeah, so we were kind of going over the tight ends, and we were talking about which tight ends are like set it and forget it, where you're just setting it in your lineup and you're not worried about it.
There's like
and,
one.
And I think we kind of said it was Kelsey.
And Waller.
And I mean, Waller's had a couple
Waller's had
dud games as
yeah.
well. I mean, I get it. You're setting and forgetting with Waller, but it's like
Yeah.
what tight ends have come out there, set it and forget it, and they've actually produced each and every single week. Andrews has had a couple dud games. Ertz has been non-existent. Mark Andrews, a couple bad games. Kittle's even a couple bad games.
Oh, fuck yeah, I hate him.
But Hockenson, for what it's worth, sneaky guy, safe floor, especially in PPR leagues. I mean, he's had 9 or more PPR points in all 7 of his games. He's had a touchdown in 4 of the 7 games. And last week when Galladay goes out with a hip injury, 10 targets. So it's kind of a guy they were leaning on. We don't know if it's going to be Stafford. He ends up on the COVID IR list. He doesn't have COVID.
He's just sick.
He just had a close contact with someone who had COVID-19. So there is a possibility that Stafford plays on Sunday. They're not ruling him out. Even then, if it's Chase Daniels, like you said, Mike, sometimes these inexperienced quarterbacks, these backup quarterbacks, they tend to lean on the tight end.
Yep.
And it's a good matchup. The Vikings allow the 4th most receiving yards to the tight end position. So I do like TJ Hockenson. For me, he's kind of entering that set it and forget it territory.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I mean, a guy who was drafted, 10th overall in the draft 2 years ago?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's hard because last year he had that really good week 1. I think he actually kind of did that this year.
Yeah, he's a hoe. No, I'm just
But
kidding.
yeah, I think you can start TJ Hockenson this week, and I love it. Let's move on to Evan Engram. Oh my God, are you guys serious? I can't. No more.
Well, who are you talking to?
Evan Engram.
Oh, I thought you were like on the phone when you're like, "Are you serious?"
No,
It's
no,
just
no.
happened so fast. Yeah, I took him. You know what I'm saying? Had to switch it up a little bit.
No, I mean I have him too, but it's frustrating.
It is frustrating, but you know that he's third in the. Did you know he's third amongst tight end in targets? Third, coach.
Yeah, but
So-
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is an ass sandwich. I know. I didn't like him coming into the
An
year.
ass
Bless
sandwich.
you.
He's a what?
He's a
Cook a motherfucking down
ass.
a fucking sandwich.
They call him an ass sandwich. Yeah. He has 7+ targets in 5 of his last 8 games. I mean, he's coming on a little bit. He looked good last week, week before. Ever since he dropped that third down ball, they're getting him involved more. I'm just waiting for that touchdown game. I think he gets it this week. I mean, like I said, 7 targets in 5 of 8 games. I think if he gets that 7 to 9 target range, I think he's going to find the end zone. I know they're playing the Washington football team, which they're not slouches by any means on defense. They suck overall,
But they're actually not good against the tight end, that defense.
yeah. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I think they're ranked like it could have
20.
changed.
They're like 20 something.
Yeah, they're like 3rd worst or 4th worst against the tight end position.
Because I mean, Evan Engram is a freak athlete. It's just their O line's bad. Daniel Jones is an ass sandwich, and that's why. But I just think he finds the end zone this week. So combined with the yards that he could get you, hopefully he can get you at least 50. So double digits for the tight end, you'll take.
Yeah, I feel it. Fuck, man, it's just hard. It's hard for me. I mean, I'm starting him too, but it's oh my God, I hate it. But you made a valid point here. We can move on to the next one here for our sit. I think no. We're going my start, baby. We got Jonnu Smith. I know. Jonnu Smith has been frustrating as well. The past 3 weeks, it's been like 3 points per game. Not very good. Maybe 6 points. Not really getting you very much. But I think Jonnu Smith will come back in this game. I think the redemption's around the corner. I think he still is one of the more high targeted tight ends when it comes to teams targeting tight ends in the league. The Titans are still up there targeting that position. So I think just be patient. It'll come. It's coming this week. I'm putting it into existence for you.
I mean, yeah, he was like
Hansel is so hot right now.
he was hot like Hansel coming out the season, a guy that we all liked during the draft season. I mean, I get it, like you said, Mike. He's had a couple bad games, but to have a guy at the tight end position that can get you 20, 25 points, I mean, that could be the difference in the matchup. And he could be the reason why you win. You get one of these other guys come out here and their tight end puts up a Gesicki line, who's dead to me, 0 points or something like that.
Yeah, we'll talk about him.
That extra 20 points right there, like I said, could be the reasons why you win. So he's been boom or bust, but I mean, if you want to roll the dice, you got to go with it. I mean, the tight end position's hard, and he's still a top 10 tight end. So I'm definitely still rolling the dice with Jonnu Smith.
Tannehill's they lost to the Bengals. It's just, it's not, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a rough game. Let's just say that.
Trap game.
All right, let's move on to the next one here for our sits. You just said the name you shall never say, Mike Gesicki. Why? Why is this guy?
Listen, I just have to apologize to everyone and anyone who started Gesicki. If you've listened to me at all and started Gesicki, I'm sorry, and I apologize.
Do you think this is a trap right here? You saying don't? You're saying to sit him. So
yeah, here's the thing. He's probably going to come out and have
him.
this monster game this week, but I don't know what it is. They just don't target Gesicki. I don't know why. I mean, he's had 2 games where he's had 5 or more reception. In those 2 games, he's had 91 yards and 130 yards. But then he's got 4 games with 1 catch or 0 catches.
Which is stupid.
That is just, we're talking about boomer bust. Jonnu, at least Jonnu's get me 25-plus points in a couple games and some touchdowns. Gesicki's it's just frustrating because the guy's talented. He's a good playmaker. He's a good red zone weapon when you get in close, but they're just not utilizing him. They're not throwing him the ball. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Who knows what Tua's going to do, because we didn't really see what Tua would do. Like I said, they were smacking the Rams. There's no need for Tua to drop back 25, 30 times and throw the ball. He's just dead to me. He's dead to me. And I'm a Dolphins fan. He's dead to me. Now, watch him come out, like you said, Mike. Probably have a monster game, but he's just too inconsistent.
Hedge Tyler,
down.
start Mike.
I want nothing to do with him.
I don't want anything to do but watch him do good.
He's on waiver. Welcome to Waiver Town, bro, because you're dead to me.
He's in Cacaville.
Yeah.
Choo-choo.
All
Choo-choo.
right,
Last
then.
stop, Waiver Town. All right, Mike Gesicki. Oops.
We're going to go with his cousin, Hunter.
Hunter Henry.
Actually,
Hunter.
Not Hunter Biden. Hunter Henry.
They're actually not cousins, but maybe they are. But are they? Anyways.
Are they?
I'm just playing.
Does
Yeah,
he also do crack?
He might. Maybe. But does he?
Just kidding.
No, Hunter Henry, he started off the season hot. Good. 16 targets in 2 games. Since the first 2 games of the season, he has yet to surpass 50 yards receiving. He's getting 6 targets a game, which you can't be mad at for tight ends, but he's gotten 50, 39, 23, 23, and 33. So in his last 3 games, he has 79 receiving yards off 11 catches. No touchdowns. He only has 1 touchdown all season.
Do you think it has to do with Phillip Rivers coming in? Justin Herbert coming in?
Yeah, I think that Justin Herbert's really good at throwing to wide receivers, so they don't really need Hunter Henry.
Because we just said inexperienced quarterbacks tend to throw to the tight end because it's more reliable. Like Phillip Rivers throws it underneath because he can't throw the ball apparently.
Yeah,
I feel like
Herbert doesn't have that problem.
It could be the opposite with Hunter Herbert. I can't get anybody's name right. Jesus.
Yeah, Hunter Herbert Henry.
A lot of H's, baby.
Like it.
Triple H, baby.
But it's I think he's just he looks to push the ball downfield, and he doesn't mind forcing it in there, and he likes to throw his receivers open. He's got that even Jalen Guyton has a couple long touchdown catches. You got Keenan Allen, obviously you have Mike Williams. They got weapons, and he's good at extending the play, like to where some young guys, like you said, would go through their progressions and then find the tight end on a dump off. Herbert's athletic enough to kind of scramble and let the guys get open.
Right.
And obviously the wide receivers are just a little bit more athletic.
Herbert's fun to watch, man.
He is.
He's like, I don't know.
He's averaging over 300 yards per game passing. That's the most for a rookie.
Ton of yards.
He's about to be like Pat Mahomes and throw a fuck ton of touchdowns.
Ton. So, yeah.
50 touchdowns.
Hunter Henry, I feel like there's better options. I
agree.
Fuck me sideways with a lunchbox, coach.
Yeah, fuck him with the lunchbox. With the lunchbox.
Fuck me sideways with a lunchbox.
Is that a saying?
It is now.
Mom, did you bring the Lunchables? Oh,
no.
Oh, don't fuck me sideways. Oh, hit the cord. Hit the cord.
All right.
Hit
Anyone else or what?
Nope, that's it. Unless you wanted to talk about somebody else.
Nope.
Nope.
Fucking flub.
There was no fucking flub.
We had to get T-Rev out of here by 8 o'clock. It's 7:58. He has to go groom his fucking mohawk. Bye.
Is it 7:58?
Yep.
Oh, he has to leave at 8. I thought he had to be away. Thank you for listening to the AVG Fantasy Football Podcast. Subscribe, hit that like button, do all those things. Unsubscribe, resubscribe, leave us a rating or review. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. All links are down below in the description.
Yeah.
I meant to announce that what's wrong with our... I got to write that down. Get a little sticky note or something. If you made it this far, we stopped doing the live streams because copyright strike, so we can't do the live streams for a while. It said 90 days. It's been about 3 weeks, so whatever that is, 21. So it's gonna be a while. If we do any more live streams, it's going to be probably on. We'll restream it through Instagram Twitter, Twitch. We have a Twitch channel, and we'll do it that way. But we don't really have as much. We have more people on YouTube, so it's hard. It's hard for us to do the streams. But maybe we'll figure it out. Anyways, that being said, ask us your questions. We got your back. AVG Fantasy Football Podcast is over. Season 3, episode 68. Thanks for listening. And us big boys are out.